Well, hello, my beautiful Cancerians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for the end of June, right through the end of July 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I'm using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound, okay? So, let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Cancerians, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. I don't know if you noticed about the energy of the Gaia chimes, but whatever card is going to come out here is very important because, you know, both times the Gaia chime went silent over this deck, and I'm being given an energy that your dreams, your goals, whatever it is that you are manifesting and working really hard towards accomplishing, you know, it's about how you feel, because over the water, that's when the Gaia chime really became alive, okay? They had a ripple effect in the water. I don't know if it got caught on camera there. So I would say, you know, a lot of visions will come to you in water, so taking a bath, okay? But also, you know, if you're going into the ocean or you're, you know, in a swimming pool, for example, water is going to help you really manifest and amplify the energy that is attached to your goals and dreams. But I would also say that your emotions or how you feel about something is really going to kind of magnify the opportunities that come your way. So, you know, whenever you see a vision of you living the life that you aspire to, check in with how you feel. You know, really feel it, feel the excitement of it, you know, feel the security of it, and it shall be so. So I wanted you to be aware of that. But anyway, let's get to your energy. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Can you please guide? How would you like to receive? Very thoughtful energy, actually, with your Gaia chime check-in there. It tends to tell me perhaps how you are deeply reflective at this moment in time. I mean, I'm not surprised to see the Hermit there. We've got the Sun. Yeah, you're reaching for something you can see as a vision in your mind, something that is truly important to you, that you're working hard to achieve. You're putting a lot of energy into this, but you're dealing with change right now with that Death card energy. But it is the protagonist energy. So this means that you're in control of some of those changes. You know, you may have been making some adjustments. Look at that, King of Cups. It's about how you feel. Okay, King of Cups energy, it can also be that you are reaching for a very secure position. Success sometimes can change everything. And sometimes, you know, we can even be a little bit nervous or afraid of success because so much change comes with success. But the King of Cups is there. So a lot of you, you know, you are deeply sensitive at this time and you're protecting your dreams. You're visionary. And I feel that you're very intuitive at this time. You're making some necessary changes. And I feel the time of reflectiveness on something that perhaps you're thinking about ending for some of you, I feel the time has come. And you're moving on to pastures new or to bigger and better things because you have that Eight of Wands there. So I'll get all those cards for you before I really tap into the deep energy of each card and what I'm being given by my guides. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Cancerians? What do they need to know regarding their career and money situation? Ooh, that one popped out there as well. Now we've got the Two of Pentacles, so a lot of you are multitasking, very busy. I mean, the Three of Swords has popped out there as well. Okay, so this can indicate that whatever it is you're trying to achieve, you know it's not going to be easy. That's not going to stop you from reaching for that success. The Sun energy is your overarching energy, which means you're going to be truly successful and abundant. It's like you can see the vision in sight. And you know there are necessary stages or steps towards accomplishing whatever it is you have as a destination point, and you're going to get there, but you know that it requires a lot of hard work, and you're already investing that hard work in your visions already. We've got the Four Swords, 3 and 4 Swords there, okay? We've also got the Strength card, and we have the Hangman. Now, for some of you, I'm going to pull one more card because this can indicate some of you are just so fed up of delays. You're exhausted. You're at capacity. A lot of you feel broken down and tired, but still you have that dream, you have that vision, and you're protecting that dream or vision. We have the Ten of Cups. I just wanted to see what was on the other side of all that kind of overthinking and that analyzing and being quietly reflective on something. I mean, the Hangman can indicate that some of you, something has changed in your working environment, almost like turned upside down, and you're kind of reflecting on how you can move through these changes or challenges at this time. But I see here that actually it will benefit you long term, okay? Ten of Cups can indicate peace of mind, prosperity, and having everything that you desire in your field or whatever it is you're focused on. But again, as I mentioned, you know it's not going to be easy because that Three of Swords is there. Anything that we truly want that is truly special for us, unfortunately, it tends to never be easy, right? That's life. But I'm going to address the nature of some people who perhaps have come to this reading, and you may have either lost your job or been made redundant there, because this can be an abrupt ending of something for some of you. And if you've gone through that, it's the protagonist energy. I want you to be aware of this. I don't want anyone worrying there, because this means you're coming to this reading with this energy, okay? You know, the outcome energy indicates with the Sun, there's prosperity, there is clarity, and also you sticking to a vision. And we have that Ten of Cups, which means that there is some sort of abundant energy and feeling truly fulfilled. That's your outcome over here, okay? But that transformation card, if you've come to this reading and you're currently searching for a role, and you're feeling that the job market is oversaturated, I mean, I feel like you're steadying your nerves here. Yes, you may be a little bit anxious about the working environment. Two of Pentacles, you may be currently like looking at options right now. These options may be to do with different avenues or second streams of income. Or if some of you, you know, you've been putting yourself out there trying to find opportunities, but you've been met with radio silence for some of you, because the Hermit can indicate, you know, you feel a little bit removed in some way, or maybe even not seen in some way. But I do see that there is something coming together for you, and there is a wait. You know, I'm not going to, sugarcoat this. The Hangman can indicate that there is new knowledge that you will acquire before you step into a new role there. Three of Swords can indicate that, yes, there's a struggle when it comes to the working environment, but you're reaching for something, and you will be seen with that Sun energy. And I feel this is about holding true to your vision, being stoical in your energy, and not giving up, of course. I don't see that you would ever give up, my beautiful Cancerians, because you are one tough cookie. You're very strong. But I also see with this Ten of Cups, there is a dream job opportunity coming on in for you that will benefit you and your family. So if you are looking for, you know, a new position, the Death card signals change, a transition Okay, and it also indicates that with that King of Cups, you're someone who cares deeply about what it is that you do. And also, you're already established at what you do, okay? So it can indicate that you are someone who has a lot of knowledge. You know, you are someone who is a visionary, very intuitive. You learn really quickly, but you could be gaining some new knowledge there whilst you're waiting for the right opportunity to come up. You're not going to sell yourself short there. And the Two of Pentacles, there are going to be options, okay? Some of you may feel that the money is not reflected in the effort that you have to put in some of those roles. Some people may have told you that you are someone who is overqualified, for example, for the roles, but this just means that they love what you do and that you're so gifted and talented and you have the smarts, but they're just not willing to open that purse. They're not willing to open the budget, or perhaps, you know, because economically things are very challenging right now, that they cannot afford your skills at this moment in time. They value who you are, and they're saying, you know what, you're overqualified because we'd love to have you on board, but we can't afford what you may be asking for when it comes to, you know, the role, as it were. So I feel there are opportunities being made available right now. There is new projects starting to come to fruition, but you may feel it's not what you're looking for, but there is this dream role coming on in. Okay, I'm going to pull a quick card on that because I feel the nature of change is about you. The Death card can indicate, you know, transition towards something greater, the universe creating space. So keep that vision alive. You know, there is transformation there. I'm seeing lots of butterflies around this card. There's none in there, okay, but I'm seeing lots of butterflies around this card. So this is a water element card, of course, so it can be that something within you is changing, shifting, your knowledge, your perception of your industry, for example. Can you show me this new role that's coming in? For those Cancerians who are currently out of work, we have the Devil card and we have the Ten of Wands. Ooh, okay, so yeah, there is two roles coming in, as I mentioned there. One is a lot of hard work. The Devil card can indicate it's potentially a toxic environment. Ten of Wands, it's like everybody will dump all the work on the new person, so just watch out for that. Intuitively, you will know because you're all up in your feelings. You're very sensitive at this moment in time. You're going to feel it as soon as you go into the environment. You're like, oh, it's heavy here. People, you know, they feel a bit off, or they're a little bit touchy, or there's something connected to, you know, the first point of call when you go for an interview. It could be the reception or the security kind of desk where you just feel like people are not happy. Okay, so just watch out for the red flags there. You're going to turn something down. You know, Five of Cups is judgment and letting something go. And you also have the Judgment card, okay? Five of Cups can be that you're disappointed or you feel that you need to sacrifice that because you think it will be just too difficult and they're not paying what they should for the role. You just can see it, you know? So don't feel bad about letting something down because you just feel it's not right for you. The Judgment card indicates you're letting something go because something better is coming along. And for those of you who are currently in a very toxic working environment, you may be putting your resume out there to find alternative opportunities, and you're going to find one before you actually let go of the one that you're in. That's what I'm seeing there as well, okay? Four of Cups, yeah, feeling fed up. So there is a bit of a weight. You know, it's obvious there, but the Four of Cups indicates that, you know, there is a role that comes after a disappointment. And it can be, I mean, looking at the Five of Cups, for some of you, there may even be one role that you're like, I really want this. You're obsessed about it. You're like, oh my gosh, this is the role because the Devil card is present. Okay, and you're like, okay, that would be great. Ten of Wands, though, you know it's going to be a lot of hard work, but the Devil card's present, so this can indicate that either the environment requires you to, you know, sacrifice too much for the role, whether that's time or your skills and services, and the role just isn't. I just want to say it doesn't equate to the value of your skills, okay? That's what I want to say. Four of Cups can indicate that, you know, you're feeling fed up and you're just, you know, maybe even feeling doubt that anything's going to come along, but then suddenly the universe pops in with an alternative opportunity. Four of Cups, if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, you know, the figure sits under the tree and has three cups in front of them. Their arms are closed off like, no, none of these things are working. None of them are paying what I want, or they're not fulfilling. It's not what I'm looking for. But these are the only things on offer right now, and it's just so frustrating. And you're exhausted and fed up, with people taking advantage of your skill set. And then suddenly, there's a very turbulent cloud there. Suddenly, the universe pops in with a hand and gives an alternative option. So I feel out of the blue, there is a role coming on in, but I feel there's two. And one of them, it feels like you contemplated at first because the Judgment card is there, okay? And you judge the situation and you feel, oh my gosh, this is not it. But if some of you are like rejected from a role or an interview, know that it is a silver lining, because it's like you dodge one, right? Because there is this energy of you being offered something that, could have locked you into a contract or locked you into something that was just not good for you. And the universe says, nope. It's like there is this energy of protection right now. So there is a role coming on in. Be really discerning about the options that come in, okay? Because one, it's not so good for you and it will burn you out, of course. And the other one is a dream opportunity. And I feel like you'll be truly happy in that. I mean, this is to be stoical and to hold your position, until the moment is right. Keep the vision alive. So if something comes in that you're like, I need the money, but it's not really what I'm looking for, of course, use your intuition and discernment. If it's something that you can learn from but then leave, I feel like you could be searching further afield, but that's coming in. I just want you to be aware of that, okay? And with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to disconnect from that energy and move on. For the rest of you, change is afoot. So some of you could be transforming the way that you work. It can be this energy of you shutting down projects right now, basically closing out all your to-do list. A lot of you, there is this energy of having to get something done until you can take a rest, because the Hangman there is to pause and it is to reflect and rest. Okay, but also the Four of Swords can indicate that, yeah, you're exhausted and there is this need to take a pause. And, even if you've just had a vacation, or, if you're a parent, or, you run your own business, it can be that things are changing and the world seems to be changing the goalposts for you. And you're trying to manage all this pressure and, you're trying to be flexible with the changes that are going on. But the Death card can indicate that a lot of you are exhausted and there is a need for change. So it could be that you're erecting healthier boundaries in the working environment or having healthier cutoff points. It almost feels like some of you may have reached a limit where you feel like you need to come up for air. So even if that means taking one day off and, reflecting, or whether it means, because this is a very busy energy. The Two of Pentacles indicates that you're back and forth on something, or, you're multitasking. Some of you may also feel it's time to, get something new up and running. So if you're someone who has reached a plateau in your industry, no matter whether you work for a company, whether you work for yourself, whether you're a creative and, you have these wonderful creations out there, or whether you're an entrepreneur, it can indicate that there is a need for change or there is a need for an addition, because the Two of Pentacles can indicate either your money is fluctuating, okay, and it is like a little nudge to you to think about new avenues to diversify or branch out in some way there. But, this is transformation. You're changing the way that you work. And when you have a Two of Pentacles there, it can indicate second streams of income. So whether you're thinking about real estate or whether you're thinking about, getting some sort of partnership platform with a social media kind of entity there, I feel like there's something you really care about and you feel there could be like a spin-off avenue from it. So for example, if you work for, a well-known company, right? And you may not be able to kind of tell people about what company you work for because trade secrets, you're not allowed to do that, of course, but you could be like, okay, you're really established at what you do, but you could be writing like a handbook or a manual on how to work in the industry that you work in. The pitfalls or the highs and lows of working in an industry that you work in, for example. This could be a moneymaker as some sort of like welcome addition or complement avenue of finances to what you do already, okay? For some of you, if you are a content creator, for example, it could be that what you're doing right now is working as it should. It's just ticking over, but you're thinking, is there more mileage in this? Is there an opportunity to branch off in a different direction? Or if you're a creator, it could be that people love what you do and now you want to change a style or you want to change something about it and you're a little bit nervous, but I feel, that with that Ten of Cups, people are going to love it. Now, of course, the Three of Swords can indicate as well that you may be worried about this or you may find it a struggle in some way. to get it launched or, get it seen because we have the sun energy there. But I feel it could be that there's a bit of a lull. So what I mean by that, if you're someone who creates art online, for example, a lot of people could be on vacation right now and they're actually out there, not on their cell phones. It could be that, there's a lull in people visiting like websites at this time, or if you're a fashion designer, or if you are a web designer, whatever it is that you do. It could be that there's a lull in the market right now for whatever it is that you do. And, it's challenging and you're looking at alternative ways to keep things fresh for yourself and at the same time be ready for when the market picks up again, okay? And when I say market, I mean whatever niche you are working in. So if you are creative, even if you're a performer or an artist or a musician, or you work for a company or construction or catering, whatever it is, please apply it to your situation. It can be that there is a bit of a dip right now because the Hangman is there in the Four of Swords, but I feel there's this energy of you being able to return to maybe tasks or responsibilities that perhaps you've been meaning to get round to, because we do have that energy of return. But it feels like something to do with your plans with that Three of Pentacles, because it is in the resistance position, which means you read it in the reverse at first. It can indicate that some plan is on hold or something stalled, or you require an extra step or a stage or some new information before you can move forward. It's almost like some of you may have felt like you hit a roadblock momentarily on something, but actually this pause has a purpose. It is there to inform you because there's new knowledge that you perhaps have not acquired yet. And you need this for the next step. So if you're trying to structure finances, because you are going from a Two of Pentacles to a Three of Pentacles there, so you are increasing finances over the next coming weeks, or you're pooling your resources in order to save or be a little more savvy with your savings strategy there. It could be that you're being stricter with yourself, and it could be that there's that, but also there's this energy of how do I make more? What ideas, what visions are coming to you at this moment in time? And that King of Cups is there. And as I said, the energy from the Gaia chime highlighted that water is so important to you because there's new visions coming to you, new ideas, new inspirations. And that King of Cups indicates you care so much about what you do. And that's why sometimes people take advantage of that because you care so much. Remember your worth when it comes to pricing your items or asking for a set price on, you gigging or whatever it is that you do. I feel this is about you being established. But if you feel like there's no room for maneuver where you're at right now, or you've hit a plateau, you've hit that glass ceiling, I feel some of you are thinking about the next stages. Now, of course, that King of Cups is sitting in a throne, and it is made of gold, of course. We'd all love one of those. Well, I wouldn't so much. It might be quite hard and uncomfortable, actually. But, this is about knowing your worth. But also, as you can see, there's a very turbulent sea there. So it could be that economically, around you right now, your industry is very turbulent. And you're just hoping that you're secure in your position right now. And looking at the energy, I mean, I got to be honest, there are some changes there. And for some of you, you are going to witness a slowdown. You're going to see a person leave a position, Three of Pentacles. There is this energy of someone leaving. So if you work in a team, there is an energy of someone withdrawing. So this person may actually leave. But for some of you with the Hermit, there could be, because it's in the resistance position, there could be a redundancy energy there. You may witness this, and it may actually make you feel a bit nervous. It's almost like with the Hangman there, it's a waiting game. When someone gets let go in a company, people start to feel like, oh, the time is ticking. But I want you to be aware with this Ten of Cups energy that you are someone who is a valuable asset. Okay, and you'll see that over time, but the Strength card indicates that, you are resilient. So I feel there's also this energy here. This is a byproduct, it's just come on in. If you deal with other people, which of course you probably do in the industry that you're in, whether you are a manager, whether you are a creator, whether you are, whatever you do, basically, I'm getting this energy that get everything in writing. A lot of you may be dealing with paperwork or some important correspondence over the next coming weeks. get it in writing, because there's someone here, okay, who may stall a project or who may kind of like put a spoke in a wheel, and they may actually kind of make a mistake or try to call you out on something. So if they ask you to do something, if that's the nature of your business, if you have a boss, for example, or a client that you need to deal with, or a customer, and they ask for something, or that is the nature of what you do, make sure you get it in writing, because a Three of Swords can be, you know, a misunderstanding or a miscommunication there. But, you know, with that Four of Swords energy, I feel like you're protected, because that's the nature of this card. It means a pause. It can indicate that you're waiting in order to work out with new knowledge. You may need to investigate something further and say, hey, I didn't make the mistake. You said you wanted this. But if you've got documented evidence to prove that, which I feel a lot of you will have, you know, you can actually illuminate the situation and say, look, you know what, I'm not calling anyone out, but I know it wasn't me. So therefore, let's just move on from here and let's get everything documented from now on in, okay? Just so you have proof. So that's coming through there strongly. Now, the King of Cups can also indicate that you want to get more financially savvy. So you may be getting advice or looking at new financial structures when it comes to your industry. Two of Pentacles, yes, very busy. You're multitasking. A lot of you are mentally exhausted at this time, okay? I feel a lot of you, there's this energy of close to burnout. Eight of Wands in the resistance position indicates a lot of you are exhausted. You may feel somehow you're working really hard, but you're in the same position right now. But when you're in the middle of the activity, you're working so hard, sometimes you cannot see the progress. But after the next 6 weeks, you're going to look back and think, wow, I did a lot. You're going to be able to recognize that you've come a long way, and that of course your career, no matter what stage you're at, because I keep getting this energy of stages for you, so it feels like you're having to plot point, or there's stages in what you do. You're going to see that you're growing through your career, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. There's no fast track here, okay? I feel like you're in it for the long haul, and there is going to be an improvement in your finances, okay? Now, personally, if some of you have come to this reading and said, you know what, Baba, I don't want to know about career. I just want to hear about my finances, okay? I definitely see a lot of you with that Two of Pentacles. You're making your money go a long way, moving money about into different accounts, whether it's like you're getting paid and then shifting it into like a checking account, and then into a savings account, and then into another account where you pay your bills. It feels like it's being split up there with that Two of Pentacles energy. And it can also indicate that you're constantly moving things around this month, or juggling things, or being flexible with your finances. But also I feel like you are making efforts to save, and I feel like you're promising yourself like no emotional overspending this month, because I feel like you may have like a bigger plan for your finances for some of you. Now, this could be connected to the family, whether it is, you know, to purchase property, real estate, or, you know, perhaps for your mortgage. For some of you, you are taking down repayment debts, okay? And I feel like you're really proud of yourself that, you know, you're making an impact in that area. For some of you, you may be saving to purchase at this time, or even to rent a property that will benefit you and your family there. But I feel a lot of you are going to stumble on an idea, but some of you have already had this idea and you've been sitting on it for some time. And this is a money-making idea. So a lot of you will put the necessary steps or stages into practice, because you're building something here with that Three of Pentacles. And, you know, this will lead you to making more money. So I feel if you've come to this reading and you're retired, for example, and you're wondering about your finances, they will fluctuate. You know, Two of Pentacles indicates a fluctuation, especially when it comes to economic markets there. But the Three of Pentacles can indicate that it will increase over time, okay? And I feel a lot of you, there is this energy of sharing your talent or some sort of like creative endeavor that you do, even in retirement. So if you're looking to pool resources and earn more money, you know, you could literally like get involved with like a social media platform, for example, and document, because there's this energy of documentation here, especially with the Four of Swords, you know, which it can be that you dispel the myth of like retirement as relax. You know, you're still busy, you still have projects, you're still connected to your sense of purpose, you're still in a flurry of activity. So you could document, you know, the pitfalls of retiring. And what I mean by that is, of course, you're enjoying your retirement, but it can be that, you need to keep yourself mentally, physically active. You need to remain connected in some way. You need to keep an eye on your finances. And, there are certain legal kind of strategic moves to move into retirement. You could document all these things and put it online for other people to view, to kind of like allay their fears, or to kind of like guide them through it. And it's something that could make you money, for example. So some of you may be thinking about that at this time, or some of you are thinking about, because the death card energy, can indicate a lot of you are thinking about retirement. So you're focusing on your 401ks and pensions at this time. You're definitely focused to some degree on your money, whether you're in a career or not. And you are being able to slowly but surely create a savings pot that is going to keep you secure. And a lot of you, this will benefit you and your family, because the Ten of Cups is there. Some of you may even think about family businesses coming together with an idea on something. But I do see that over the next coming weeks, 6 weeks this reading is for, I feel your money is more or less at a standstill as to what it is right now. Okay, I don't see any major movement financially. I feel it is what it is at this moment in time. There may be a small increase for some of you in the works, especially when it comes to like your acquisitions or your projects there, because the Three of Pentacles is a slow kind of like increase. So I would say there's like a minor, opportunity to bring in more, profit there, but I feel it's kind of like at a certain level at this moment in time, because the Hangman is like, it's a pause on whatever it is that you're doing, and it is a period of reflection more than anything. But we have that Hermit, which is of course introspection. It is a period of taking a pause. A lot of you are exhausted at this time, so with this Hermit energy, I feel a lot of you could have a personal endeavor or project that you want to squirrel yourself away to do at this time, to really lock into the details of it and learn more. These are pearls of wisdom. And as you can see, there's a bear there. This can indicate that you're enduring a situation that has been challenging, and you're working really hard, but you're trying to acquire new knowledge in order to keep yourself protected. So, for example, you may be learning new skills in order to remain relevant in your career, to flourish and thrive. A lot of you also could be learning new skills just in case, like a backup plan, because of course, Cancerian, you like to feel secure, and I can see that you are secure, but I do see you have a lot on your mind as you move towards the end of July. A lot of you are trying to remain flexible. I mean, you're celebrating yourself over June, because of course it is a birthday season for you. So happy birthday to all you wonderful Cancerians out there when your birthday arises. Okay, I feel like you will be celebrated. And for some of you, if you are in a career, there is this energy of being offered a gift. But it feels like, for some of you, there is a gift that comes in from somebody, I'm not sure who, and it's delayed. But it is the best gift ever, okay? I feel rather than, gifts, you'd rather have the people you care about around you. That's the main gift that I see a lot of you caring about. But I do see like a delay in something being sent. For some of you, it could be something that you gifted yourself, but I do see a delay there. I hate to mention that, okay, but it is there, so I have to mention it. Now, we do have that Eight of Wands, okay? Now, the Eight of Wands in this position is in the reverse, so it can indicate that things have slowed down a little bit there for you. I mean, you're still busy, so even in the slowdown, it can be circumstances around you have somehow like felt there's a slowdown or a pause, but you're still in a flurry of activity. And I feel like you're being given an option here to get everything ready before you either take a vacation. A lot of you are like super busy before you take that pause or that break. Some of you are traveling with that Eight of Wands there. But this can indicate that suddenly there's movement in the middle of July when it comes to your business in some way or your career, and I feel like you are elevated. So there could be some sort of news after someone moves, especially if you work in a career where you're in a company. There could be vacancies or new roles opening up within your industry there, and there's a lot of competition, of course, and I feel at first, I mean, it's there. The Three of Swords can indicate some sort of disappointment or something doesn't go the way you hoped for, okay? But you reflect on it. And you can see that there was a purpose in it because the Hangman is there. It's like, oh, I didn't know that. So again, it comes back to this kind of idea that perhaps all that glitters is not gold. Something is being offered and you're like, is this too good to be true? And then you look into it a little bit more and you're like, It is too good to be true. And you either let it down, you let go of it, or turn it down in some way, or you feel, it disappointed you in some way, but actually it's because the universe said, no, there's something better. Wait. Pause. There's something here that's so fulfilling, something really exciting for you. Okay, so I feel it's not a waiting game per se, because I feel like you're still busy in whatever it is that you do. And this could also be, if you run your own business, it could be that, you have a strategy and then you're moving towards this strategy and, you're making waves there and suddenly there's a pause or suddenly there's like a glitch, but it's momentarily a glitch because you have to learn this new knowledge, whatever this is. So it could be like you're setting up your own business, for example, and there's a financial and legal structure that goes with that entity. And you're gaining all the knowledge there because the Hermit is someone who's a lot of wisdom and you don't want to make any mistakes. Initially it's in the resistance position, so that means you don't want to have any pitfalls there. You want to avoid those. And the Eight of Wands, because it's in the resistance position at first, it is a slow down energy, and it means that suddenly you gain the new knowledge and then you're moving forward. Sometimes the universe sends a pause on purpose so we gather information that informs us to move forward. And the Three of Pentacles, for some of you, this information will come from a third-party situation, but I feel more than anything that Three of Pentacles means your plans get back on track, okay? So you're building towards something, you are stable and secure, and if you're launching a business, because if you're an entrepreneur or you're an independent worker or creative and you're launching like a new kind of line or a new style or a new business, whatever it is, the Eight of Wands, because it will go into the upright, everything that's in the resistance position goes back into the upright. The Three of Pentacles indicates early success in something taking off, profitable work, especially when you're working with others or building skills. This could also be a networking opportunity or collaboration. But I see that people, especially in your industry, even if you work alone, because some of you with that Hermit, you're thinking about going solo, setting up on your own. But if you're not, it could be people in positions of authority, are noticing what you do. They're noticing about what you're about. And although things have been challenging, they want to help you springboard towards more. And, even if you are an independent worker, it could be people in your industry are noticing that you're making waves, that you care so much about what you do and you're very gifted and talented. They want to see your work. They want you to be seen. So this is a card of stepping into the spotlight. Now, a lot of you, if you're working on something in silence right now, power moves in silence. So you could be secretly working on something that is going to literally transform your life. And it's exciting, but also some of you, when you care so much about your industry or whatever it is you do, your dream, your vision, of course, sometimes with that Three and Four of Swords, it's hard and we worry and we get scared, we get nervous and we overthink things. And sometimes we tear ourselves down with doubt. But actually, when there is a moment of pause and you reflect on how awesome you are, you'll realize how strong you've been because you're self-made. You did this all by yourself with these cards. And the illumination here is that you have a talent, you have a gift. You're so good at what you do. And the Sun indicates success, abundance. You're growing your career. It is a slow process, but you're nurturing something. I'm actually seeing a kidney bean in the water there, really random, but this can indicate, it looks like a kidney bean. It may not be. It may just be a seed of something. Maybe it's a new idea, but you're nourishing something that will turn very abundant. And I feel like you're paying attention there. And that Sun energy indicates that, there is a positive outcome. This is your overarching energy. So whatever it is that you see in your mind, you shall have in your hand, and the vision will become your reality. But right now it feels like you're reaching for that vision, and that vision can be a destination point. And it's hard, Three of Swords, for some of you, not all of you, but some of you, there may be a person who is very challenging and difficult over the next 6 weeks. And this person, looking at the energy, the Three of Swords is there. They may come at you with that Four of Swords with an apology. And you're like, don't say sorry, just do better. So it can be that you feel that someone has overstepped a mark one too many times and you're just fed up of their BS. For example, if you work with someone, if they're micromanaging you, or you feel that they are constantly like alienating you, or kind of because the Hermit energy can to be feeling left out in some way. or isolated in some way. So a lot of you, you may feel that you care so much about your role, but somehow you don't fit in. And, there may be a person here who is the culprit, because we got two people energy here with that Two of Pentacles, and it's almost like there's one person in particular who likes to cause trouble, and they may actually be very sly and come towards you, almost acting like it's not them, and you're kind of very wary about this person. And this may not resonate with all of you. This could be a client. Maybe they're very challenging and they suddenly say sorry. I feel like sorry just doesn't cut it this time. I feel there's this energy of you being very diplomatic, but letting them know that, you know what, sorry is a word. It can be thrown about all over the place, but actions speak louder than words. So I feel like you're watching their actions at this time. Four of Swords, you may reflect on the best way to approach this person or situation, but also, reeling this energy back in towards you. This is a period of thought, of strategy, of, protecting your inner peace in the working environment and making sure there are health and safety procedures there, or, that there are working conditions that benefit you and don't kind of like burn you completely out there. Now, of course, that Four of Swords can indicate meditation. I want you to be aware, especially in the working environment, a lot of you, that Four of Swords is protection. The swords protect the person, okay? And it can be that you're hoping for change. Well, change will be afoot there for you, but a lot of you with that Hangman energy, I feel, things will be challenging for a little while. I mean, I gotta be honest with you there, because Three of Swords, Four of Swords, things will get better, but there is a process, or there is this energy of a lull, as it were, and things will pick up pace so that it is more manageable. And with that Hangman energy, I feel like there is this desire to learn something more, perhaps to help you in the future, or turn the way that you work around. So it could be that you're getting up earlier, for example, in order to be ready for opportunity, and you're changing your schedule for some of you, because swords can be of the mind. It can be this mindset reset, as it were, and you have more energy and more get up and go. And I feel a lot of you, there is this energy that perhaps things have been a certain way for a while and it feels like a slow, long slog, but there's something here to celebrate. There's some sort of news or information that you have not acquired yet, or you have not received yet, that you will celebrate, because the Eight of Wands is great news. It indicates progress, a leap forward, and it feels like it happens towards the end of July for some of you, and it gives you that power, that strength to realize that actually you're stable, you're secure, you're planting roots where you're working right now. As you can see, all those trees represent that you withstand a storm, or you withstand something that was challenging. And this could actually lead to fresh new ideas or new ways of working that benefit you in some way. Because you have that Three of Swords there, it indicates, it's not going to be easy, but you're someone who goes the distance. You're up to the challenge, and you're someone who's gifted, and you have staying power, okay? And economically, things are challenging right now, but I see that you're protected and directed accordingly, and your outcome is that Ten of Cups. You're walking the path, and it's a long journey. And as you can see there, there's normally a pathway. We've got that rainbow, which is a dream come true. And if you kind of like recognize that in order to create something really rare and unique for yourself and your family, it requires certain ingredients, just like a rainbow. You have to have the sun, which you've got there, and you have to have the rain, which you've got there with that Three of Swords. And together, it makes something really rare, a rare opportunity. And I feel like you're ready for this. You're ready to rise, is what I'm seeing there. But you knew and know what it takes to get there, okay? And you're ready for it. You're about it. And that Ten of Cups indicates you will be prosperous. You will be secure. You will be on top of your goals. And you will actually, have that raw energy, that passion, that drive to get to where you're going right now. And I feel nothing is going to stop you in your energy with this. Ten of Cups is to be happy. It is to, basically have security, but also be solid in your working environment. And there is a wholeness, a completion there as well. So I feel you may be changing the way that you approach your work so that you can complete tasks in a quicker time, so that you can be with your family or your friends or the people that you care about. So I feel for some of you, because that King of Cups is there, some of you may be thinking about going overseas or looking at overseas opportunities as a viable option to protect your finances or create a structure. I mean, a lot of you are looking at legacy as well, because it is your birthday season. That kind of triggers within us what is our legacy in our industry or our family lineage. So you may be looking at alternative opportunities at this time that align with your sense of purpose, legacy, and you know, you may be migrating your business, for some of you, overseas, or looking at the strategy to do that. And although it may be daunting, I definitely see here it's going to be rewarding, okay? And you're going to find the right information and the right people to guide you through that. So finally, we've got prospects, securing your future. That's why all that security energy came out throughout your reading. It says wise spending, speculation, acquire, compound, and fund. Okay, so that really aligns with your reading there. We've got medicine, healing money blocks. A lot of you are doing that at this time. Reprogramming, open to receive, healing arts and shadow work. Okay, so a lot of you with that Ten of Cups there, you could be looking at money blocks in your family, generational money blocks, and it's a change of mindset. You deserve more. You know, money is not evil. It is not a bad word. It is not, you know, some people say dirty money or money is the root of all evil, all those sentences, but actually this is a mindset. It's the person who has the money and what they do with it, you know, and how they conduct their life. That's where it comes from, the core. So set yourself free and acknowledge that money affords you security. It affords you a lifestyle to be free, to buy back your time in order to spend it with your nearest and dearest. And a lot of you are working towards that at this time. Now we have emergence. So a lot of you, as I said, I saw butterflies over the King of Cups there, but I mean, there's actually a butterfly in that death card there, so perhaps there was a butterfly influence, but butterflies are going to be relevant. This means, you know, chrysalis period for you is the thoughtful stages of something coming together, something maybe even changing form or revamping a plan that you're returning to. But it says coming into the light. That's exactly what you're doing. You're coming into the light. You're coming up here. And it says soul work, awakening, spotlight, many interests. That Two of Pentacles, you got many interests and living gently. Ten of Cups, that's all about living gently. I mean, humans, we're all the same. We just want to get by in peace, live life. We don't want this turbulence. We just want to live in a community where everyone gets on. There's happiness. We have enough money to eat and, you know, live securely. But sometimes the world wants other things. And, you know, I feel you are focusing right now on what's important for you. We have that transition energy, which definitely connects to the death card there. You can see that. And it says ending and beginning. So something is ending, something big is ending. I mean, a lot of you may be focusing on things ending at this time, expiry dates, contracts, renewals of service providers, all of these things. But because you had that 10 of Cups and you have the King of Cups there, I feel more than anything, this is about your vision. The next 6 weeks is all about your vision. It's about how you feel about what you're doing and feeling content in what you do. It says here, new job, quit. Some of you may quit, okay? If you have been fired or you have been made redundant, you're moving on. You may be worried about lost income there. And we also have, you know, inheritance and, you know, healing money blocks there too. So a lot of you, there could be something connected to that at this time. We also have rituals bringing in prosperity, money rituals. I'm seeing someone finding like a cent or a penny there. Pick a penny up all day, have good luck. I'm seeing that happening. That will happen over the next 6 weeks for you. We've got movements, objects of power, affirmations, and making it rain. We've also got the matrix. Some of you are trying to, you know, become solo in your working environment or work from home because of that 10 of Cups energy. It says revealing the truth, sacred work, real careers, muse, catalyst, and possibilities. I feel there's so many possibilities opening up for you right now, and it's important to prioritize and explore what you feel would benefit you and your family the most. The thing that excites you the most at this time. We've got fertile, okay, so something taking off there for you, the seed of something, you know, really germinating. If you think about the seed, you put it in the soil, and then it germinates. You don't see the progress. You just trust the progress that actually it's happening. Whatever is meant to happen underneath the soil, it's happening to grow whatever it is you're trying to grow. And you may feel right now that you're in the middle of that germination period where something is growing, but you can't see the progress. and you're going to see it. It comes to light. So you will see evidence of you moving forward or an advancement there. But right now you're in that lull period, which feels really hard. So we've got inception, creativity, reborn. Yeah, that death card can be a reborn or revamp. We've got nest egg and flourishing. And also finally, we've got new heights, the ladder to success. So yeah, I do feel there is going to be some sort of climb or some sort of ascension there. It says steady climb, solid ground, endure, exceeding expectations. You're going to be so proud of yourself. It feels like you've been going through a challenging time, but you're coming out the other side, okay? So I'm just going to go and we've got a mask, okay? So this can indicate that some of you reveal something that you've been working on in secret. For some of you, this could be working authentically in an environment that is not authentic. And that can put you at odds with other people. Some of you may actually uncover a secret, or something is revealed to you and you're keeping quiet about it. I mean, a lot of you with that Four of Swords, you could get closure on something that was challenging in the working environment, and you've been laying low in order to process it. For some of you, you may even be invited to a working event or a networking event, perhaps an industry event there. But you may also discover that someone is having an affair in the working environment as well. And looking at your energy, you're keeping it to yourself, okay? I don't feel like you're going to reveal it unless you have to, unless it gets in the way of work, perhaps. But I'll leave that there. Some of you will be very discerning about how you deal with that. So I hope something resonates in that reading for you, my beautiful Cancerians. Thank you so much, and love and light.